to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from here, and this has been like a therapy session.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. I'm here with a big man himself, Boris Crighton. Boris, it's been a long time since I interviewed you, mate. I think it was probably in Aberdeen sometime, about 4 or 5 years ago, whatever it may be.
I don't know if I fought that night, to be fair.
I don't think you did. No, you didn't fight, no.
Nah, I think the night ended up getting cancelled due to ambulances not showing up and all that. So it's been a bit of a tumultuous career so far. And you know what? We're back on track. We finished off 2019 coming into 2020 in the top 10. Lockdown hit. Everything went to shit, as you know, right? We had to work our way back. Now we're back in the top 10 and we're ready to fight again. Do you know what I mean? We're back in business. Everyone's talking about this CrossFit thing. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that.
Let me talk. I'm going to talk about it. Let's talk about it. The reason we're going to talk about it is because when I dapped you up there, I seen you, I gave you a high five, said it's been a while, and I'm almost surprised if you're still fighting. I've not seen any pad work or any sort of like sparring videos, because all your videos on Instagram, you're very, very good at the reels, so I'll give you that. It's all the sort of CrossFit style. It's the deadlifts, floor to ceiling presses, snatches, and all that sort of stuff. So that being said, that's what you do for Instagram, but the fighting side, you're keeping quiet and you're coming up, probably up the back alley, trying to sneak through under the radar, so to speak.
Yeah. You know what? During, like I said, the lockdown time hit, and I needed something to keep that competitive edge. And you know what? And I think a lot of fighters fell down the side because of that. And it's like, it's all good posting pads and boxing and all that, but that didn't build my social media following. What built my social media following was my CrossFit environment and me being in the different environments, and that's built you're seeing YouTube fighters now off the back of making millions off the back of whatever they're doing on YouTube, and it's like, yeah, the boxing environment is great, and you can try and work your way up and talk the way through that, but you see fighters not making it anywhere close that, doing all of that. Boxing has proved to you that unless you're Floyd Mayweather, you're not doing it. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, so I found something else during the lockdown period, because either people in my weight wouldn't take the fight, so we had to find a way to stay competitive, find a way to stay fit, and I was ready. There's a few guys that phoned me or phoned my management saying, hey, 2 weeks, 3 days, let's do it. We said yes. They didn't take it. And they didn't see me doing pads, but they watched me saying I was in shape, right? They saw me moving, right? They knew that if we're taking it, it's trouble, regardless. So my boxing's always there, right? And if it was a fact that I needed to showcase that all the time, then people would be calling my phone up to say, Boris, let me fight you, because it means nothing, because I don't see you hitting pads, I don't see you doing nothing, but people see me in shape. If you see me training, you see me in shape, and we're now what? We're number 8 in the UK? Let's get these fights going.
Is that what the plan is for 2023 then, is to get these fights going, like you said, but get these, I hate to say money fights, but maybe title fights? I mean, you are top 10 in Britain right now in the super middleweight division. Like I said to you, you are flying under that radar. Do you know what I mean? No people might know who Boris Crighton is because of the social media thing, because you do all the sort of like, what I'm saying, CrossFit in quotes, but is that the goal for 2023, is to get back in contention, to get these title shots, maybe at the back end of 2023?
Outside of social media, like, social media doesn't tell you who someone is. Social media doesn't dedicate who I am as a fighter. So boxing's always been the forefront, and that's where we are now. The reason we were able to make it through the ranks isn't because we were doing CrossFit, it's because we were in the gym, hitting pads, hitting bags, working, traveling down to England every single week, down for sparring. Do you understand what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of guys in Scotland ready to spar at all times, so we have to travel to get this sparring. Everyone doesn't see that. And do we need to showcase that all the time? No, we don't. But we're getting 9th round stoppages. We're still getting stoppages against unbeaten fighters. And that's what matters. If you want to see my boxing, go check my record. Go see how many fights I've had. Go see how many stoppages I've had, one percentage knockout. I think I'm at 80% knockout. And I fought 3 undefeated fighters. I fought some good, been in some real fights. So for me, it's like, my record speaks for itself. And when it comes to boxing, you go and watch my videos. I'm a fighter. I'm an entertaining fighter every single time. At the end of the day, I'm an athlete, and I'll always be that. Do you know what I mean? So I'm ready when they call me to get the phone call. I'm there for it.
Well, so I wanted to ask, man, obviously I do enjoy watching your Instagram stuff and all the fitness stuff you do. So how has that helped your boxing career then? All this CrossFit, like I said, all the floor to ceiling presses and all the strength work that you're doing. How has that helped your boxing career?
Speed and power. If anyone thinks it's easy to do, they can go and do it and show me how it's done. It's speed and power, and that's what I work on. When you come, like you said, you're cleaning presses and stuff like that. That's not something that comes easy. It takes time. Like boxing, it's a craft. It's a skill you have to master. And over the lockdown period, I mastered the skill. I kept my discipline. I kept my regiment, and I found something to keep my brain active in the sense of being a man that can be adaptive. I can adapt to situations that I wasn't capable, and I use that to transfer that into the ring. And it's like my motivation to be a competitive athlete, even if I couldn't fight, translate it into another sport. And it's like, I chose boxing. I decided that I wanted to be, boxing didn't choose me. I chose boxing. That means I can go into another sport and be great at that. But I want to be great at this sport. That's why I'm here. But another sport, yeah, I'm getting likes and clicks. We're getting some views and we're getting some followers. So why not? You know what I mean? It's the age of social media. And you know what? If that's going to build my followers, let's do it. Boxing has not given me the glory that I wanted, but I've stuck to it. I'm here. I'm still putting the work in. I'm still putting the grind in. Regardless of what any other sport or any other rails or clean and pressing has done for me in terms of social media presence, I'm still in this boxing sport because I want something out of it. Not because of the money or the big fights or whatever. It's because I love this sport, and that's why I'm doing it.
You mentioned the glory. Boxing hasn't given you the glory yet. Does that mean you're still hunting the glory?
Absolutely. Like, that's the only reason why. It's a lonely sport. There's no one cheering you when you're running 10K, 20K first thing in the morning. There's no one in there with you when you're taking punches. It's not a sport. It's a sport that comes with the glory comes after. And when you lose, everyone disappears. There's no one there going, oh, you'll be all right, mate, you'll be all right. It's a sport that can let you down very easily. So you got to choose the sport. You got to choose that you want to do this. You got to choose that you want to fight. And going in there with guys that are hungry and tough. I'm getting a bit closer to my 30s now. I'm still a young fighter. I feel like I'm a young fighter. I'm sharp as ever. I chose to be in here. So anyone that wants it, you got to choose to be in there with me. It's not an easy sport. It's not about the glitz and glamour, because the glitz and glamour, I can get it without boxing. As we've clearly seen, like you said, about the rails, I can get the glitz and glamour without boxing. I chose to be in here, so I wanted to be in these big fights.
Let's talk about then. One final one for me before we go and enjoy the rest of the fights. What's the hopes for this year inside boxing?
Inside boxing, we want to fight for the British. As a British fighter, one of the biggest belts to get is that British title. And I think anyone in boxing that is a British fighter wants that title. And to be able to win that title outright, we've seen another fighter coming out of St Andrews, Cash, that went and did exactly that. And I want to be able to take that belt here to Scotland, fight in the St Andrews, fight at a Hydro, and bring those big fights here, because I want to be part of that history that's made.
Definitely, listen. Absolute pleasure. And I follow you on social media. The reason I'm probably not up on the boxing because you've been quiet on that boxing game. I'll give you some credit.
Boxing reels. I've been giving them boxing reels. The boxing reels are coming, and you know what? If we're here for the reels business, the boxing reels are coming. They're gonna be there. They're gonna be more of them. But social media is social media, and you know what? Like, business is business. We're gonna do what pays, and
definitely.
The reels are paying right now.
Boris, absolute pleasure to see you, big man. And until the next one, brother. Okay. Cheers, bro. Cheers.
I'm going to share something with you. That might put me in a very negative light, yeah.
Relationships are not my forte.
See if someone grabbed up my wife or something, completely different ballgame.
I'll walk away from it, and this has been like a therapy session.